Okay. Hello. Sorry. My name is Clara. I work at Ribera del Tajo High School in Talavera de la Reina in Toledo, Spain. Okay. We are here to talk about how this COVID situation affected our teaching and learning situation. It's not easy to think about how it all started. On March 14th, we were told that we had to go home and not see our students anymore. And we thought, as Richmond said, it would be for a couple of weeks at the most. It turned out that we didn't see our students again during that school year. So till the end of June, we were on online teaching. So our school has about 1,700 students, and it didn't affect all the students the same way. 300 students are on e-learning teaching, on e-learning. And what does it mean? It's very similar to what our German colleague explained yesterday. We use a Moodle, and there is a section where teachers upload materials, another section where students upload their tasks, and another section for grading and all that. And it's mainly thought for students who are working and they don't have time to go to school. So it's not synchronized. I mean, they don't see us teachers giving the lesson. They have the materials up there and they decide when to go over those materials and do their tasks whenever they have time. So did the COVID situation affect them? I would say no, not really. Okay. But the rest of the students, we have very young ones, they are 11 years old, to older ones that they can be my age or even older. It's more similar to, I don't know, maybe the Irish students. They can be 18. It's more kind of a college at the same time. And some students, I'm saying, they can be my age. So we all live the situation in a different way. Richmond said, how do we keep social distance if we have kids in primary school? It's very easy. You take a meter and you say 1.5 meters, and that's it. And you say, well, having 30 students in the classroom, but we didn't have 30 students in the classroom. We had 29. So it was much easier, you know. But surprisingly, we found out that the younger ones followed the rules strictly, and older students in their 20s, they were the ones that got more infected. All the students luckily followed the rules in the school, but life was different when they went out and they went home. And I was part of the team that had to report the cases to the sanitary authorities, and the difference between younger ones and older students was amazing. So, because all of them followed the rules in the school, we were very lucky and we never suffered another lockdown. So we were under lockdown for 3 months, from March 14th to the end of June. And as I said, we never saw our students back. but the next school year started. And how did that start and affect us? Well, the educational authorities told us, well, teachers, you have to do planning considering 3 scenarios. 1, online teaching. Another one, blended learning teaching situation. So that meant half of the students in the classroom, half of the students at home. They followed the lessons on a kind of a streaming situation. We did that with older students. The ones that got more infected, they followed that. And then face-to-face teaching situation. So last year we've been on that face-to-face situation, and what I'm going to talk about is firstly about that impact of those 3 hard, tough months. So we have to consider 3 aspects, I would say, because our school community is teachers, obviously, and students, but we also have to consider parents, because we have over 1,000 students that are under 18. So parents have to be in contact with us. Okay. So overnight, we had to learn how to use different platforms. Classroom, Meet, Zoom, and it was like a punch. We had to wake up, we had to come out of our comfort zone. Teachers, we were the knowledgeable ones, and we found out that we had to be learners at the same time. And all of a sudden we realized we needed further training, and we had to use new technologies. Many tutorials and online courses sprang up, and we were eager to learn. So I've decided to look at the positive side, at the bright side of COVID, and that's one of the positive things, I think. Many of us came out of that comfort zone, and we have learned many things. I had never used Classroom before, and now I do, and that's one of the things that I think it has come to stay. Maricruz will talk about that later on. There are some benefits, some advantages, some disadvantages about all this situation, but we can always focus on one or the other. For example, teachers, we have to be in contact. We have to be in contact with our colleagues. To hold staff meetings, we use Meet, firstly, then Meet. And one of the things, we had an official platform, where teachers register marks and all that. But it wasn't ready for such amount of information all of a sudden, and it collapsed. We had to deal with that at the same time, and get training, and be teaching at the same time, simultaneously. So we had to be fast and learn very quickly. We had to deal with parents also. We used emails, but last year that we were on face-to-face teaching, we could not have just anybody come and walk into the school. So only teachers and students were allowed in the school. What about parents? So we had to have online meetings with parents, maybe a big one when the information was general for school transport, for example, or schedules or all that. And maybe it was more on personal basis. And with the students in those 3 months, some teachers really struggled. Some other teachers were more skilled and had high digital competence. But some teachers, especially older ones, really struggled. Some of them used email, classroom, Meet. We all had to learn to have online meetings. And the communication continued. With students, we had to make students work in teams. How do you do that if each student is at home? Miguel Angel will talk about that. So I've talked about how it affected teachers, and Miguel Angel is going to talk about how it affected students.
Hi, my name is Miguel Angel. I teach technology, and in my subject we used to work in teams, and in these very difficult situations, the problem is obvious. How can we work in teams if they have to keep the safety distance? How can we do that? So sometimes the solutions is in front of us. So we used to work with Google Drive, Google Documents, Google Spreadsheets, Google Presentation, and they have tools, a comment button, in which you can comment anything about the document, and I thought that the students could use that tool as if they were using WhatsApp. So I propose a problem, and they have to choose a color for every comment, and then they could communicate with each other with this tool, and it works. It works very good. So I think that is a very good way to solve this distant problem when you work when you want to work in teams. Just, I don't know, use WhatsApp inside a text document, and that's what I did.
Okay. Now hello, my name is Maricruz, and I work at this school as well, and I'm going to tell you what happened with parents. Because parents, you know that sometimes they or we can be a nightmare to teachers, and especially in this situation when they felt that everything was out of their reach, they thought, well, what can we do with our children? Our children need to keep learning how we can help them, or what are the teachers going to do to help them, right? So at the beginning, sometimes they were complaining that we were sending lots of tasks and homework and all that to them. Then they were complaining on the other way. They're saying that perhaps teachers are not working, they are staying home and they are very comfortable there. So they also need to adapt to this new era in the blink of an eye, as well as we did. So we needed to have parents' meetings, both in group or one by one. They were still carried out, but we needed to do it online. And we needed to teach them to use Google Meet. This was what we were using with them. That they used to use the official platform, which is Educamos, or the email to communicate with us. The thing with this is that sometimes they are writing, or they're anytime. They want you to be there for them 24/7. And that's impossible. Sometimes they are writing to you at the weekend or even at night, and they expect that you will answer their emails, or so you will be there to send tasks to their children. And also, I didn't change this. No, is this? No, it's different. Okay. Some of them were also digital illiterates, and they rely on their kids for these issues because it is difficult for them. Their kids know how to use technology, they are born with it, but parents don't, so it was difficult for them, and sometimes they were using the student's email account. You never knew if it was the student writing to you or it was one of his parents. Okay, then the virtual tours, they had to be virtual tours for the open doors day at the school instead of having all the parents there. But also, if they want to come and see you because they need that contact, then it has to be by means, if it's something which is really urgent, by means of an appointment. Otherwise, they cannot come to school and just, hey, you are the teacher, so I want to talk to you, right? So this is how this. Okay, thank you. Right, that was the impact on parents as well. And then we're going to see the pros and cons that we found on the situation. Then the pros that we found with this is that online meetings among teachers have proven to be more effective. We lose less time beating about the bushes. We stick to the time. If we have 30 minutes for an assessment meeting, we stick to that time, and we finish, and so we have just realized that perhaps when we were there physically at the school, sometimes we were just talking about the weather, and we are losing our time. Or if you have an assessment meeting at, let's say, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you won't have another one until 6, so you lose the 2 hours in between because you have to be there. You have no time to go back home or so. But not, then if you are at home, you can do different things, and then you connect again, you go online again for the next meeting, and this is better for us, it's more effective. And then we feel more eager, like Clara said, to learn new things. Okay, we are more environmentally friendly because we use less photocopies. We are using, before we were giving handouts every now and then because it was quite easy. Now we use Classroom, and we just upload whatever we want them to see, and then they open that with their tablets. We have, like we said yesterday, we have that tablet system, and then they can see that on Classroom, so you don't need to give handouts that they can be contaminated with the virus or so. We also send the photocopies to the photocopier, so that sometimes if you need one thing, not everyone is touching that paper. So we have reduced the consumption of paper drastically. Then the digital bridge has been blurred. Now more or less everyone, even the parents, although I spoke about this illiteracy, they are able to have some contact with us through the internet or through email or whatever, so it has been blurred. There are better equipment in the classroom because we needed that, so we needed to have all good equipment or connectors or whatever. And then there is a very fluent communication among staff meters by means of this emailing, right? You don't have to. Before, perhaps we were waiting to see each other and just saying, oh, there was one thing in your classroom that I want to comment with you. Now we write, we have a mailing list and all that, and then we write to one another. Some cons, yes, that we have lost personal contact, which is also very important among co-workers for time bonds. That is very important. Before, there used to be some meetings outside in the yard where cooking, for example, a paella or something like that, and now that is not possible. But anyway, we have lost that. We hope we will get that again. And then working over the computer for long hours has caused side problems. many of us have lost, I can say that I have lost sight just because of being in front of the computer all the time. And leaning on lessons, online lessons and tools means that there is a big dependence on a good internet connection. So sometimes if at home you don't have a very good internet connection, that is not possible. Then also in class we try to work with the students to give them some time to prepare their presentations or so, because some of them would tell you that they don't have a good Wi-Fi connection at home. Then also, this kind of teaching, sometimes it doesn't leave much room to improvisation, because when technology is not working, if we have prepared a class using technology, then if it is not working properly or there is a problem with the internet that day in class, then we feel lost. Okay, and then we have more work at home because, like I said, we need to keep answering mails, or if you upload something on Classroom because you are preparing something for the following day, you want to leave it uploaded, and then there is always one or two students saying, is this homework that we have to do? Is this homework? And then you need to answer, no, don't worry, just calm down, I will tell you in class what you have to do with this or so, but you need to be there, all right? Then some things that we think that are going to stay after this situation is that the use of this Google Classroom, these G Suite tools, the use of online groupware, and the online courses. For teachers, for example, all the courses that we have for us, the training courses are all online, and we think that they are going to be like that. I'm not sure, but probably. And things that we would like, we really would like to be here, to remain, are the online meetings. Like I said, they are really saving lots of time from us, and they are really more effective, but unfortunately we think that the administration won't let us do that. They want us in place at the school. Probably they think that at home we are not working, although it is, but anyway, we would like to keep on having the online meetings. We would like to be using less paper again, and we like that parents won't come to school unless they have an appointment, because it is not good, for example, when you come back from a break from having coffee and then you found one of the parents just there waiting for you. So it is okay for them to come just when they have an appointment, the same as we do when we go to the hairdressers. You cannot turn up at the hairdressers without an appointment nowadays. So it is the same. We do that there when we go outside, but they don't do that to come to school to talk to us. And then we have a more accurate use of the web page and the social media for information. So now if they want to know something news from school, they go to the web page more than they did, or the social media with Instagram, Facebook, and all that. We publish everything, so they go there more. And then the communication is more fluent by means of these instant messages and the emails, like I said. So we would like this to stay as it is now, and that it has improved, these things have improved after COVID. And thank you for your attention.